Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about Hasan because the other day he got a little too carried away with his shtick and he ended up saying some pretty funny shit. So if you know Hasan at all, he spends a lot of time on his live stream trying to call out people for being racist and trying to expose racism, which is obviously a good thing to do. I think if somebody's actually being racist, you should point it out. But if you're going to do that and be so passionate about that, then you yourself probably shouldn't be saying anything that could be considered racist. And as you're probably aware, Hasan is not that big of a fan of white people, or at least that's the shtick he has while he's streaming. I don't know what this guy actually thinks, because it seems like a lot of the stuff that this guy does is just performative, and I think a lot of people are aware of that too. And I think that's kind of how he gets away with some of the things he says, like saying racist things, because people are just like, you know, that's part of his whole deal. Who knows if he's being serious or not? Like, the guy is definitely a performative activist, and I don't mean everything he does is bullshit and he doesn't actually believe anything he says. It's just very clear sometimes he's just doing things for entertainment and he's not actually trying to like be productive or say anything productive. Like, I feel like most of the time when I click on his stream, he's just making fun of somebody, which, I mean, that kind of is politics nowadays, but that's why politics is just a fucking joke and none of these people really care. But I feel like that's a big part of Hasan's appeal. And also, it's just funny because he says he believes in like safe spaces and he'll act extremely sensitive and get offended very easily. And he's just very inconsistent with his beliefs. And that's why I think him and Ethan Klein are really good friends. And that's why they're doing a podcast together, because Ethan's the same way. Like, these two will say some pretty edgy shit and they'll personally attack people for hours. And then they'll hear somebody say something slightly offensive and they'll get offended at the drop of a hat. Like, here's an example I have where Hasan's Twitch streaming and he's playing some role-playing game. I don't really know what it is, and he's playing online with some other people, and this girl that he's playing with says the R word and he calls her out immediately and makes this giant scene and definitely just goes way over the top with it.
Every time I come in here, I got a bunch of retards being fucking rude to me.
Well, you know what? That's a really fucking rude thing to say.
What the fuck? Yo, that is... Okay, that's like literally fucking unacceptable, dude. What the fuck? That's not cool. That's not like a fucking cool thing to do in character or out of character. I don't give a fuck if she's a judge or not, dude. Hey, listen. Here is my fucking out of character drama or whatever the fuck. Don't talk to fucking people like that. What the fuck are you doing?
So obviously it's not cool to say the R word, but I feel like you shouldn't need to make this big of a deal out of it, especially because Hasan has said it plenty of times. And also, this is a role-playing game, and she might have been saying it just as like a character, which still, maybe it's too far, but I don't know. But also, Hasan, he could have just been like, hey, listen, do you mind not saying that word? Like, I think people could be offended by it. Like, he didn't need to have that kind of reaction. He was like, what? Oh my, what did you just say? Listen, that's not fucking cool, man. I need to make an example out of you now. Like, that's what it kind of felt like to me. He's just trying too hard to prove that you shouldn't be saying the R word. And it's kind of ridiculous to have that reaction if you've said it plenty of times. And I'm not saying Hasan shouldn't call people out for saying the R word, but if you know you still say it, I feel like you can't be that hard on them. So here are a couple of clips of Hasan saying the R word, and he's saying it way more aggressively than that girl. But I mean, Hasan's just an aggressive guy in general. Like, he seems pissed off 24/7. I honestly think he just spends way too much time on the internet. Like, this dude really needs to take a break for his own sanity.
To prove his point? Wait, what? Listen to me. If you're too retarded to understand what my fucking point is, that's not my fault. Okay? Yeah, I said the R word.
Your father, the devil.
Not drive towards the fucking stairs? Are you fucking retarded? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that a 700-mile fucking cop car was gonna lunge up my asshole and end up fucking...
So I think if you're gonna say it that blatantly, it's pretty disingenuous to get so worked up over somebody else saying it. And then also, here's a clip of Hasan talking about how people overreact when he says it and people get too offended.
Bro, motherfuckers like hear the R word and make it seem like I murdered someone, dude. I'm sorry. You guys are so fucking ridiculous, dude.
All right, so I'm sure you guys get the idea. He's very inconsistent and he can get away with things, but other people can't. All right, so now I'm going to talk about some of the recent controversy he was a part of and how he handled it. So I'm not 100% sure the timeline of events here, but I think all this started because some of his mods in his Twitch chat were spamming Cracker and they said it too many times too quickly, and I guess they got temporarily banned. And by Cracker, I mean the slur people use for white people. And I never really thought about if you could get banned for it. And I'm not really sure how his mods were using it. But if his mods were saying it directed at white people, like as an insult, that seems kind of inappropriate. I don't know if they deserve to be banned. Like, I'd probably say they didn't deserve to be banned, but obviously Cracker is a racial slur. Like, you can't really deny that. And I'm not saying that because I'm offended by it. Like, I'm not really offended by much. I don't care if people are calling me names. And also, I'm not trying to say the word cracker is anywhere near the N-word or anything like that. Like, the N-word definitely is a lot worse, but cracker is definitely a racial slur. Like, anybody could tell you that, unless you think you can't be racist towards white people. That's obviously some people's logic, but if you think that, you're just an idiot. And I think Hasan, like, deep down knows that it's a racial slur, and it's something that he should probably try not to say, but I think he just got too caught up in his whole persona, and he does not want to admit defeat. Like, this guy has the biggest ego ever, and he never wants to admit that he's wrong. So after his mods got banned, I guess he tweeted this. He said, 2 mods randomly got banned off the platform for saying cracker, and every pasty white baby worldwide that has debated for white people saying the N-word is losing their minds over how using cracker is a hate crime. So I mean, this is a very mature response from him. I mean, this is just hilarious because this guy is all about exposing racists, but yet he can just say whatever he wants about white people and make fun of them for whatever, and it's okay. Like, is it that crazy of a concept just to be like, how about we don't make fun of people for their race? And I like how if you point this out, you're the one who's being a baby and you're offended and everything, yet Hasan is the one having a meltdown over this. Like, he's losing his mind over the fact that he's not allowed to say racist shit towards white people. Like, this is just amazing. I love it. And he literally admitted himself that he was losing his mind over this. On his Discord, he posted this message, which, I mean, I guess this could be fake. I think I found it on Reddit somewhere, but people are acting like it was legit. If this is fake, then just let me know in the comments. But this says, dude, I'm losing my fucking mind. I can't even ask Myth his perspective without people being like, take down, even though I know what his answer was, as I mentioned immediately after the clip. I don't even know what he's saying with some of this, but I know the clip he's referring to because later in the day he met up with this streamer whose name is Myth, and he's black, so Hasan wanted to know his opinion on his Twitch mods being banned for saying cracker, and I think this was the top clip of the day on livestream fails, so this really got to Hasan.
What do you think about the word cracker?
The what?
The word cracker.
What do I think about the word cracker?
2 of my mods got banned for saying cracker yesterday in a sequence of like 3 minutes.
This fucking guy. I don't use it personally.
Oh.
I'd rather describe people with things that aren't just broad stroke derogatory terms based off the color of their skin.
Okay.
So, I mean, this guy gave the best response possible, and you could tell Hasan is not happy. Like, he did not expect him to say that. Like, as soon as Myth says he doesn't use it personally, Hasan's just like, huh. And you could just tell Hasan was caught off guard by that response. And afterwards, he's just like, okay, because he probably realized it's a lot better take than his. But Hasan cannot admit defeat. And of course, afterwards, he's like, well, I knew that was going to be his response. So then this clip blew up on livestream fails, which usually people are pro Hasan on there, but this time people were goofing on him, so he got really mad about it, and that's what that Discord message is about. Like, Hasan just needs to learn to take an L. Like, dude, you don't have the best opinion on everything. So here's another clip from sometime during all this drama. I don't know the exact timeline of events here, but he's streaming with Pokimane, and somebody in his chat just keeps spamming cracker's not a slur. And Hasan's actually kind of rude here because Pokimane's like, but isn't it a slur? And he's like, no, of course it's not a slur. When obviously it clearly is. Like, when you call somebody a cracker, you call them it as an insult, which Hasan later does. I'll show you a clip of that later, but Pokimane is definitely correct here, and Hasan tries to make it sound like she's crazy for thinking this, yet I guarantee Hasan is aware that it's a slur, but he just does not want to give it up.
Cracker is not a slur, cracker is not a slur, cracker is not a slur, cracker is not a slur. Sussy.
Is it? Is it not?
It's not.
It's not?
No, of course not. Cracker is...
The way you said it so loud.
Cracker is, has, even in its etymology, it's something I've talked about so many times too, because it's like...
Like, look at this. She's cringing here. Because the shtick of Hasan just being an asshole and saying really edgy shit, it's really not that cool, and it gets annoying after a while. Like, he's obviously saying it like really loudly and clearly, like just to try to trigger people and annoy people. And I think she can tell that he is trying way too hard here.
White boys love fucking saying like cracker is the same as the N-word, cracker is the same as the N-word, right? It's really stupid. It's not like the etymology of the word is different. Like cracker means literally whip cracker. It comes from whip cracker. So the power still is in the hands of the white person in that situation, whereas the N-word is dehumanizing.
So again, I don't think cracker is anywhere near the N-word. Like, the N-word is a lot worse, but that doesn't mean cracker is not a racial slur. And just because the meaning behind it is something that's, I don't even know really what he's trying to prove, like that cracker isn't like dehumanizing people, so it's not that bad or something. But if you're arguing with somebody and you're really mad at them and they're white and you call them a cracker, that's obviously a racial insult. And also, I don't think most white people just want to be referred to as slave owners. And I just love how Hasan's like, oh, white people get offended so easily. Yeah, they're just big babies. Like, dude, you get offended by everything. Like, you're having a fucking meltdown over your right to say cracker. Like, who the hell cares? And I'm sure Hasan will still continue to use this word because nobody really cares that much. I just don't understand why he wants to be able to say a racist slur so badly. Like, if you're such a good person and you're trying to be really sensitive and you don't want to be racist at all and you want to expose racism, then I'd say probably just don't insult people based on their race. I mean, I'd say try not to insult people at all, but good luck with him doing that. And with him making fun of white people, I really don't think that many people are offended. I think most people just want to point out the hypocrisy and how confused he sounds. Like, dude, this is the internet. If you say stupid shit, people are going to make fun of you for it. And Hasan should know that. He basically does it for a living. So there's just one more clip I want to play where he's reading like all the comments to his videos on livestream fails, which is just a bad decision. Like, I don't know what the hell this guy's thinking. Like, honestly, I think he should probably just take a break from streaming for a while. This does not seem very healthy. Like, this guy's blood pressure must be through the roof.
Who said this? Did I say, oh my God, saltine cracker? Like, people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said, you dumb cracker bitch. Okay?
Alright, so that clip is just great because I think Hasan at the end there even realized how ridiculous he sounded. Like, he's reading comments where people are saying, why does this guy want to be able to say the word cracker so badly? You know, it's a little weird. And then, of course, he gets all pissed off. And then what does he do? He uses cracker as an insult. Like, this is just fucking classic shit right here. Like, if people shouldn't be offended by cracker and it's not a racist term, it's not derogatory in any way, then why are you using it like that? Like, this dude honestly needs to be humbled a little because he's just out of control. And also, I just think it's funny because I'd imagine a lot of his audience is white people and some of them are probably agreeing with him. Like, yeah, you should be able to call white people cracker. That's not racist in any way, which is just hilarious. Like, everyone knows it's not that bad of an insult. Like, it's nowhere near the N-word, but come on, it's still racist. Like, it's still a racist slur, but people get a little too excited trying to be as woke as possible, and this is exactly what happens. You end up losing your fucking mind, like what happened to Hasan here. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Make sure you hit that like button and then leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this, and then hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.